TikTok of a Muslim man speaking to another man and a woman, and the woman asked him about Jesus and said he had been crucified and killed, and the Muslim man corrected her and said no, he was not killed. And she said, why don't you believe that? And his response was, because God would never treat his messengers with such disdain, or something along those lines. There have been some very interesting moments for me while reading the Quran where I've seen them mention both the Torah and the Gospel, as it's called in the Quran, which is the Bible. And even seeing those mentioned in the Quran is mind-bending for me, first of all, because the way I was indoctrinated, these were not connected at all. So I was very interested to see if in the story of Jesus in the Quran, what the explanation would be, and I found it. I'm just going to read from the Quran what I found. We said to them, enter the gate humbly, and do not break the Sabbath, and took a solemn pledge from them. And so, for breaking their pledge, for rejecting God's revelations, for unjustly killing their prophets, for saying, our minds are closed, no, God has sealed them in their disbelief, so they believe only a little. And because they disbelieved and uttered a terrible slander against Mary. And somebody tell me what the slander against Mary was? And said, we have killed the Messiah, Jesus, son of Mary, the messenger of God. They did not kill him, nor did they crucify him, though it was made to appear like that to them. Those that disagreed about him are full of doubt. They certainly did not kill him. God raised him up to himself. God is almighty and wise. There is not one of the people of the book who will not believe in Jesus before his death, and on the day of the resurrection, he will be a witness against them. I don't know what the Torah says, but that is exactly the opposite of what the Bible says. It's really interesting to read the Quran's point of view on what happened with Jesus, because I have the knowledge of the gospel from previously before. And the God of the Bible and Allah of the Quran seem like two completely different entities. Allah's reasoning that he would never bring harm or humiliate his prophets like that, whereas the God of the Bible was happy to sacrifice his own son for everyone's sins. I've also heard that the Torah and the Bible have been altered in the years since they've been written to fit more of what men in power wanted to achieve. And I've heard that the Quran has not had a single letter changed. That is so intriguing.